Well, good morning guys. Today I'm going to try and get this section of the ceiling complete. Whether I will or not, it's another matter. It's not a big section, but it's going to be fiddly. I've got these sun visors to work around. I'm going to have to take out the air conditioning cover. Also have to work out the lights that are going up here for Carolyn and my side, which are up inside, so I've got to drill out the holes for that. And what else? Yeah, so we'll see how we go with that today. Hopefully we'll get it all done, but I always say we'll try, but never seem to get it done. Always takes longer than what I thought. But anyway, let's crack on and see how we go. So I'm just working out where to put these lights. I think I've worked it out. I'm going to stick them pretty much in the middle of the seats on both sides. I'm going to drill a hole for both cables because there's the light and the switch, so I've got to make sure I can get the cables down for that. I've also got to work out how the light's easy enough to put on. I've got to work out how the switch is going to go onto the PVC paneling, so that's going to be interesting. And also the other problem is I've got to work out how I'm going to put these on, because I don't think I'll be able to screw this up into the PVC paneling without damaging the paneling. So whether I just cut around here with the PVC and leave these connected in this way, not sure yet. I haven't decided. I'm going to have to sit here and have a think about it. Otherwise I'm going to have to cut the paneling, and that's going to be hard for that section. This side will be alright. I could use the multi-tool, but this side is going to be a problem because the multi-tool's wider than that. So alright guys, this is kicking my old butt. The spots I've got to lie in and try and stay in to measure and mark lines and stuff is just a pain. Let me show you. I marked a line along here, and to try and get that line marked, I've had to lie on my back up against this, stretching up to take measurements from here, and the tape measure kept falling down and I couldn't keep it steady on this side. It was just a pain, and definitely got a sore back and sore neck now, but I've got it measured and I know how I'm going to sort of do this now. I've drilled the holes for the lights, for the speaker. I had to bring the driving light down, the speaker for mine. The reason why I've got the speakers back so far is when we get our stereo system, I'm deaf in my left ear, so whenever there's any music or anything like that, I usually can't hear it because it's down the front or somewhere. So what I've done is I've put it above my head, so near my right ear, so I'll be able to hear it, and that way I'll be able to use hands-free as well, so because I'll be able to hear them. Also a shout out, I can't remember who told me about this. I did think about it, but they reminded me about it, is to cut out a little hole so I could get up there, because I won't be able to reach going through this way. So I've done that cal out, and that's where the light's going to sit, so if I ever need to get to the wires I can go through there. So whoever the person was, thank you again. I can't remember who it was, so thanks. Now that I've got it all measured up, I know how I'm going to do it. I've got to go out and cut a piece and put it up and see how we go. Alright guys, the first part is up in the cabin area. I've made it so it's level with the ones at the top. That way, when you look from back to front or front to back, it's going to look all level. I did this one first because it was the first piece that I could get a good line on. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to cut this piece here. I have to do the same up around what I've done up around here. I could have made that cut a bit better. I might have to put just some trim across that, and probably do the same on this one as well, just so it makes it look neat. Alright, so let's go and do this one now. Good afternoon guys, I'm going to call it quits for this today. I've got this much of the overhead cabinet done. There you go. And I thought this was going to be the easiest section of them all to do. Turns out so far it's the worst. The reason why is just the angle that you've got to work on. It's just a nightmare, and there's lots of holes and brackets and stuff you got to get around. I had to take the sun visor off to get them in, and I'm going to have just as much problem trying to get the last part in over here as I did with the other ceiling. But it's looking really good, and it's matching up in line with the top one, so I'm glad I got that right. But anyway guys, I'm going to call it quits for today, and I'll catch back up with you tomorrow. Good afternoon all. I've been working on underneath the cabin section now with the roofing, and as you can see, it's pretty much all the big pieces are in now. I'm waiting for it to dry off so I can cut out this section here and also this section here. At the front along here, I've got some trim going across here, but the part out the front, I'm going to cut little bits of the paneling and put it in so it'll cover all that up. This was just the easiest way to do it when I've got the sun visor feed in, which I'll put back on tomorrow. Once I've cut this out, I'll put the face plate of the air conditioner on. I'll cut this out and make the little door that's got to go in here, and also the light and the light switches going in here. I've got down the driving light wire which will go down the side here, and out of everything I forgot the speaker wire, but I'll be able to drill it down from the top. So other than that guys, we're getting close to finishing up under. I've put Carolyn's light in. I've left this out just so when I've got the lights on I can test it to make sure that's working. Once I'm sure it's working, I'll push it up inside there. So guys, we're getting so close to finishing, I can taste it now, so which is really good. I'm really happy about that, and it's coming up really well. What I had envisioned in my head when I first started is coming to life now. I can really see the finished product of what I saw when I was going to start doing this, which was 2 3/4 years ago. So it's been a long process, but it's nearly there. So anyway guys, I'll get back to you tomorrow when I continue with this section up here. I thought I'd give you an update of how things are going on this cabin ceiling, so let's spin it around and show you. I've put the trim around the section where I can pull down and get into any of the wires if I need to. I've also started to put up this little bit in front of this trim, It's a bit tricky, especially when we get over there. Getting that was a bit of a pain in the butt, and it's going to be the same over the end. I've left these couple so these can dry off and hold when I'm mucking around with this part over here. I've still got to cut the angle for the trim piece angles on either side for there. I've done the long one and I've left enough so it can push in, so that'll be the last part I do for that. But once this is done, which should be tomorrow, this cabin section should be done for the ceiling. Well, good afternoon all. Just thought I'd give you an update. I finished the last bit on the cabinet, the cabin section. It's all done. Put the trim work around the hole and everything now for the cabin is done. Besides the speakers. But other than that, everything else is done and finished. I've also finished the trim in here. That was a pain in the butt to do, but I got it done. I've also just put some wall sheeting or wall paneling down along here just to cover up that bit of plywood that was there. So that's done. Okay guys, I'm working on the bathroom. I've put in the van sealer and I've put in one piece of the ply. I've got the other piece of ply cut, which is going up there now. And once that's done, then I can start cutting out the ceiling panels. So we're getting ever so close now. All right, let me crack on and get this done. All right, plywood is up now. That makes a difference just in having the plywood up. So let's go and cut all the pieces for the ceiling. All right guys, I'm going to call it quits for the day, but I've done a pretty good job today. These here are just screwed in at the moment, just so I can make sure all the cuts are right. It's been a bit of a pain, but that's like the whole thing. But still, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to run some trim up along here in the end. It's just the cuts are really weird. It wasn't straight, which was my fault when I first did it, but it's a bus and it's hard to get everything straight. Anyway, the trim will cover it up, so that's okay. I've got one more cut to do here and one more cut to do here. And once that's cut and screwed up, make sure it's right. I'll make sure the trim's right, then I'll pull it all down and we'll glue it. But looks pretty good, so it's nice and straight and level with the others. So when you look from front to back of the bus, it's all in a line. So it's been a bit painstaking to get it there, but it's getting there. So, all right guys, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Well, good morning all. Sorry about the strange lighting. I've had to take the light out in the bathroom, so I've just got a light on the floor shining up, so it makes me look a bit ghoulish. Anyway guys, as you can see, I've now finished the bathroom ceiling. Basically now all the ceiling in the whole bus is done. I've got a few things to do. I've got to do some trim work up around here to cover up these gaps on either side. I've actually got this one ready to go. I've just got to glue it on, and then I've got to work this one out. And I've got a couple left to do in the main area here. Once that's done, we have basically finished the ceiling in the bus. So that's all done, and we saw the floor last week and that's done. So as you can see, we're getting really close now. That will finish this video for the week. We hope you are enjoying all these videos as they're getting close to coming to an end, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll move on to something else, and hopefully you guys might have some ideas of what we can do next. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you've got any comments or questions about what we're doing or how the bus build has gone, just leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. But other than that guys, we hope your bus build's going well, and for this week we shall say goodbye and we'll see you in the next video. Alright guys, Catch you later. See ya.